All right, guys. Appreciate you taking the time to hop on and watch this video. I want to talk to you today just about the Summer Street Soccer program that we're going to start next week. I want to go through the program, make sure everyone's aware of what it is, what we want to, what the outcomes are that we want to get from the program for our players, to make sure everyone understands their role within the program, and to make sure everyone understands what the program looks like. So I'll go through this. You'll also get this document. I'll send this in an email, or it should be attached to the same email that you got with this video. So first, we'll talk about the outcomes. It's street soccer. So number one is we just want kids to fall in love and enjoy the game. We're just trying to create an environment that they want to come back to week after week, where they think this is one of the most fun 6-week programs I've been involved in. We want kids to take ownership and have a feeling of control over their soccer development. So as coaches in this program, we're going to take a step back. We're really there for health and safety and to facilitate. But it's about them making decisions. How do we solve problems? How does my team achieve this goal? I want them, again, with us taking a step back, to experience competition and to show a desire to win. But I want it to be done not because there's a coach or any other adult presence telling them that they need to feel that way, they need to try and win. That's their choice and they have to get there on their own. I want there to be lots of problem solving and soccer decision making, and the way that we're going to achieve that is by changing the game format every week. I want the players to be primarily responsible for their social interactions, and they're going to be there's going to be different age groups and different levels of teams there and different levels of ability. So there'll be opportunities for stronger players to be leaders, older players to be leaders. There'll be opportunities for lower level players to integrate with higher level players and manage that social balance. Again, clearly it's another 6 hours in the summer of playing time, playing the game. Lots of repetition of soccer moments, the 4 moments: attack and defending, transition to attack, and transition to defending. And clearly, if we do it right and it's an hour of high intensity soccer, there's a ton of physical benefits to it as well. So your role, guys, as the coaches in the program is simple. I don't want you to coach per se, at least in the traditional sense. I want you to facilitate. I want to use the setup of the games to create problems that the players get to solve. Then I want you to just leave them to it and let them solve the problems. And as we go through this presentation, I'll talk a little bit more about how we create those problems. I want your guys just to observe. And one of the things you can do during the sessions is manage the teams. So if you see a team that's got 3 of the best players on and they are destroying everyone, just change them up a little bit. Move a player to a different team, put them on a different place where they can be challenged, maybe by having to be a leader and pull up weaker players or whatever. But I want the games to be competitive. So that's one part that the coaches can manage, is just observing and seeing, oh, maybe I should try this player over here on this team to make it a little bit more competitive. Clearly, health and safety is of the highest priority. Making sure that we're vigilant and always watching for players. If they could take a knock, we're there and we can deal with it. Making sure the fields are safe. Have a walk over the field beforehand. Make sure there's no obvious potholes. Make sure that no one from the night before has left fireworks, left glass bottles, left litter, whatever. Just check the fields. Health and safety is important. I'll provide you a register, and I'd like a register taken for all players that attend. These games are going to be competitive, and so we're going to have a leaderboard, if you will, or a format where if you win, you move up a field, and if you lose, you move down a field. And so coaches, your job would be to help facilitate those changeovers, make sure so they're done quickly, so we can maximize the time that they get to play, and obviously to keep time on the games, to be a timekeeper. And so our games are going to last 3 minutes, and our responsibility will be to keep time of them. And then finally, I want to use you guys as some talent identifiers, some player ID stuff. So I'm going to provide you in the same form as the register. I'd like you to take notes on players, and we're going to do this through Google Drive. I'd like you to take notes on players and fill that out as they go through the sessions. It might just be really like this player's hustle. This player likes to take players on. Has a really good first touch, but doesn't know what's around him. Stuff that then our team coaches can go in and look, oh, okay, that's good feedback on player X, Y, Z. And the final thing is I just want you to know that's what we do, but it's not, hey, stop. What could you have done better there? This isn't so much as a coaching program as an opportunity for kids to play in a fun, exciting, safe environment. So that's the expectation of the coaches. As we go through and we'll talk about the field setup. We're at the ice rink, the county ice rink fields. I'll send you an address for them, but it's behind, I think most of you have been there, but it is behind the county ice rink. And we primarily have the middle field, the bit that's highlighted on the screen in front of us. And so what I'd like to do is set up lots of mini fields just on that middle bit. So as you can see, it's set up there with 3, 6, 9, 12, 14, 15, 18 fields. You'll never need more than 18 fields. You might have to extend a little bit more east or west. There'll most likely not be anyone else there in the mornings when we're running these sessions. So a little bit about the session numbers and the fields. So you all know when the sessions are, times and the groups that are in there. And we're going to be working with some big numbers. So Monday's sessions are, you'll need to set up, when you get there, you'll need to set up 11 fields. That's when we do 3v3. You need 11 fields. And that way, if every child that's registered within those age groups attends, you'll have more than enough fields. Chances are you won't use all of them, but 11 is what we set up. On the Tuesday, because we've got that big group, the 2007s to 2005s, we're going to need 17 fields set up. So, and again, most likely you won't use all 17, but 17 fields will cover you for 3v3. And then finally, the Wednesday, the single session, back to 11 fields. And they're the number of players you can expect if every player that's registered in those age groups attends. In terms of equipment, to do the 17 fields, you'll need 170 cones and 50 pennies. I'm going to be there Monday, so I will make sure that we have that equipment there. So going into what it looks like week to week, and we talk about creating problems, I'm going to go through the sessions and the field size, the amount of players, and then how the rules change week to week. Week 1, we're going to play 3v3, and the field size is going to be 20 by 30, and we're just going to put a small goal either side with cones. Each game lasts 3 minutes, and then we allow 1 minute to rotate. So if you win, we're going to move you up a field. If you lose, you're going to move down a field, which means that before you start, you have to let the players know which way is the win, which way winners move and which way losers move. Again, it's important that we provide them a framework to be competitive in and something to work towards, and that's the idea behind that. So that's week 1, and apart from that, the rules are the rules. They can choose whether they do kick-ins or they do throw-ins. They can choose whether it's a free kick or if it was a goal or if it's not a goal. Give them as much ownership of the rules as possible, as long as it looks like and feels like soccer. But 3v3, 20 by 30, small goals, winner moves up, losing team moves down. Week 2 changes slightly. So same size field, 20 by 30, same amount of players on the field, 3v3, and the same rules as above, but instead of the small goals, now what you're going to do is you're going to put, instead of a goal, you're going to put a cone with a ball on it at either side of the field, and to score, the attacking team must knock the ball off the cone. So again, that just changed. When we talk about creating problems for players to solve, the problem in week 1 is you've got a small goal that you need to put the ball through, and the opposition team are going to try and stop you doing that. The problem in week 2 is you have an even smaller target, a ball on a cone, to try and knock off, and you have a team trying to stop you doing that. So we changed the problem, challenging players to come up with different solutions. Week 3, the field gets a little bit bigger, 10 yards by 10 yards bigger, so it's going to be 30 by 40 fields. I'm going to add 2 players. And so we're going to go back to having the small goals. And obviously, when we go 3v3 to 5v5, we've added 2 more players, which adds in more complexity. So with a 3v3, you're not going to see things like switching the play. But 5v5, you have the amount of players and to be able to see actively switching the play or making the field bigger. Week 4, we go back to 3v3 and we go 20 by 30 again, but now we're going to give them different ways to score. So players have an opportunity to decide what's the most efficient way to score points. So they can score by connecting 5 consecutive passes. That would be a goal. If a player can nutmeg another player, that means putting it through their legs, in case anyone didn't know that, then that counts as a goal. And one-touch finishes, so a goal that's scored with the scoring player only touching the ball once, they are worth two goals. And then obviously a goal scored normally with more than one touch is worth a goal as well. So four different ways total to score a goal. And in that, then players can decide what's the most efficient way to score. What in our scenario right now is the best way to get as many goals as possible. Week 5, we go into 3v3 again, 20 by 30, but we're going to try and create overloads as the problem. So a team with more players. So now, in this week, when the ball goes out of play, so if a player puts the ball out for a throwing, that player must step off the field for 15 seconds. The team that restarts and is in possession will then have a 3 versus 2 advantage for those 15 seconds, and therefore causing another problem. How do we play when we are a player down? Or for the attacking team, how do we take advantage of the 15 seconds where we have an extra player? And finally, week 6, we go back to 5v5, 30 by 40 fields. And just like in basketball, what we're going to do is introduce a 3-point line. So it will be the halfway line on field. So you'll have to mark a halfway line in week 6. And any goals scored from the halfway line are worth 3 points instead of 1. Or from your own half are worth 3 points instead of 1. Again, what then players have to decide is when is it appropriate to have to take longer shots. It's risk versus reward. There's high reward in that you get 3 goals, but there's risk in that the chances are of you scoring from there are less than if you get closer to the goal. So they're the sessions. If anyone has any questions about those sessions, get in contact, make sure you're clear on what the rules are, make sure everyone's on the same page. So that's that. I'm going to follow up with a phone call with you all after this, but if we're just going to recap, the session is about the player, the program's about the players, it's about them experiencing the game. You are there to facilitate, make a positive environment, make it fun, but not to coach, just to help facilitate problems, help them take control of their soccer development. Appreciate you guys, and I'll see you at the fields.